Hey, what's up? It's CJ here, and today we're going to talk about the Sennheiser MKE 600 and why I decided to pick one up. So this video and all of my videos are sponsored by me and my Patreon. Patreon is a place where I place information for creative entrepreneurs. There I talk about techniques to carry out your creative vision, dramatically increase your productivity, and then hopefully see radical growth in your business. I also have other things available like photography classes and video courses, so you can check that out down below as well. All right, the MKE 600 shotgun microphone. That's what I just picked up. And you're actually listening to it right now. So this entire video is recorded off of the Sennheiser MKE 600. So why did I decide to pick up the MKE 600? Mostly because I needed better audio. One of the things that I've been trying to do for a long period of time now is just improve my audio. And what I've been doing is really getting, equipment here and there, just trying it out, doing different placements of the microphones, and just really trying to figure out how to capture better audio. It's really just about making sure you check everything from the sound in the room to, just putting yourself in a good position to capture good audio. Not having a noisy or echoey room, and also making sure that you place the microphone in the proper places. I love to shoot interviews, and when I am shooting interviews, a lot of times I get home and I don't have the audio that I thought I was going to have. Either it's because I didn't spend enough time with the audio, or I had someone else capture the audio that didn't really know what they were doing. Checking the levels properly, making sure the placement is right, making sure you're not hearing any rubbing or any type of noise from the subject when they're moving, especially when you're using lavalier microphone. So for my interview setups, I've been using lavalier microphones to make sure that I get the microphone as close to the client as possible, or the subject as possible. What I noticed is that you just definitely need a backup microphone in cases you never really know what the actor or the subject is going to do in the scene. They may move around too much. When you start recording, they start to act a little bit differently. They start to move and fidget and do things that you may not have predicted beforehand. So making sure you have an overhead microphone and a microphone on them, on their lapel, is going to be the best case scenario. So I bought this microphone to act as my overhead microphone to make sure I have redundancy in my audio recording. So since I bought it, I actually really like it. I love the build quality of it, and I love what it came with. It actually came with a adapter for the XLR to the audio jack that goes on the side of my camera, and that comes in clutch when I'm shooting run and gun style and want to capture audio at the same time. I actually shot like that twice since I bought it last week. So I used it in a run and gun scenario where I actually just mounted onto my camera rig, and then I just run around and just capture whatever ambient audio is there. And that helps me to add that ambient audio into my video and give it a little bit more life than if it just had things like just the music playing over top. In a run and gun style scenario, it's very hard to capture audio and take your lapel and just throw it on someone real quick. So in those scenarios, I was just having no audio. The onboard audio was pretty horrible. So having a microphone that's capable of capturing some audio that's usable for those scenarios is really important for me. The second case that I've used it for is for a wedding recently, and that helps when you may want to add some of that ambient noise as well when you're recording people in a scenario where they're putting on clothes and things like that, and talking and laughing. You want to catch that candid type of documentary style footage. You can get that audio and get it really crisp. So other than those two scenarios, and also of course the interview and making sure that I capture redundancy in my audio recording with the lavalier and the overhead microphone, the other scenario that I would use it in is this right here. Just sitting down, talking, and getting some good audio from some of these YouTube videos where I can just place the microphone right overhead, and it's actually just out of frame right now and really close to my mouth. So we're getting some good clean and crisp audio without it being on me, visible, and also not having to worry about the scenario of me moving and making that lapel scratch or make noise. Also, with the lapel, I've noticed that there's times and periods where you still get that interference, and it's almost inevitable in most scenarios. Sometimes it just happens and there's nothing you can do about it. I've had it happen on one shoot where I was inside of like a warehouse scenario where it just randomly started doing it. You know, I have my headphones on and they're saying some good stuff, and it's not, you could tell them to go back and say it again, but they never say it like they did the first time. And that is a scenario you don't really want to be in as a videographer. Having never done this, having that overhead microphone and the lavalier microphone or lapel is almost honestly the best case scenario. But if you can do a overhead microphone in most of your scenarios, you really don't have to worry about too much. I noticed that like having the overhead is probably the better scenario, just because there's less that can go wrong. You have a cord that's connected directly to your audio or your recorder, and you're capturing a clean feed. There's no interruptions. That's not going to happen. It's simpler. You can also place the microphone as close as possible. I would say the only scenario where it's really not that great is when you're moving and you have a scenario where someone's walking and talking, and you're trying to capture good audio in those scenarios. Or if you have a really wide shot and you have to decide whether to put the microphone below or above the subject. If you have a really wide shot and you put that microphone above, it's going to be really far away from your subject. But if you frame it correctly, you can also place that microphone below the subject. But in any case scenario, getting that microphone as close as possible is going to be the best ideal scenario. So this is not really a tech video. I don't really want to talk about the specs of the MKE 600, but it is something that I wanted to talk about as far as like the uses of the MKE 600 and how you should use it and what scenarios may be more practical for you to use them in. As far as the specs, you can go check those out by just clicking on the link down below in the description box. It'll take you straight to the MKE 600 and some information about it. So far, you can hear it and I love it. I feel like it's a great microphone to use for the scenarios that we just talked about. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.